Okay, so well, ladies and gentlemen, finally here we are coming back with the second match of the day, and I don't know why, guys, due to some technical issue in the last match, we couldn't stream. Well, we were streaming, but it was not visible to you guys. I think this could be just due to some unlisted or private streaming or stuff like that. So yeah, we are really sorry for that. But now coming back to the second match, well, this is the match of Erangel, and looking at the current condition, perfect game has totally been building out. 16 teams, 62 players could be seen around, and if we look at Liquid 5 esports, so they are looking very strong enough. And if we talk about the team in the last match, we saw multiple fights in the last match. They were looking very great, they're looking very aggressive in Yasna Polyana. Liquid 5 esports, so still, as we can see, they are 4 men standing, and a pretty good head start is given to the team. So a lot of multiplicity has been taken down. So yes, if you haven't liked the stream, guys, please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream. We are here to witness a lot of fight, a lot of chaos, a lot of entertainment. And as we were talking about the entertainment right now, there we go, finally the entertainment has been started out. Lucy and Cherry, both of them has been taken down. A very difficult scenario is building up for team MAP. Last player, the Lone Ranger standing MAE, well, having the shotgun is in her hand. She is holding a very big responsibility onto that shotgun. Will that be possible? And there you go, that was a perfect connection. She has taken one player down, Camgi. Well, she will come with that a better support attack, and finally the elimination will be done of team MAB. But again, going back to the Liquid 5 esports, I think they are still going on, they're still waiting on, they're still searching for a few more better loots. And I believe in this particular match, we'll take some time to initiate the fights. The players will take some time to initiate the momentum, and which is very usual enough. At those early phases, we often see these type of things. So yes, if you are quite aggressive enough, you should also take some time. But looking at Team Stalwart Esports, I believe they are taking rotations towards those northern parts of the region, towards those Georgiopol region, which is really something different to watch out, and they are looting in the Georgiopol city. So yes, this is really something different which was not expected at all. But similarly, looking at a military base which is very far I think it's another team. They are also looting around the military base region. So there are multiple teams which are following, well, they are following some multiple different plans. So the more multiple different plans, the more different drop clashes, the more different result, and the more different types of entertainment you would witness, guys. 15 teams. 59 players, and if we talk about the time, it's almost been, a few seconds in the game, and then almost been a few seconds in the match. So if you haven't liked the stream, please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share this stream with your friends, with your mates, and do show your support, because what we talk about the multiplicity, and we could see some multiple fights at those multiple regions as well. 15 teams, 59 alive players, and what we talk about the good start, we are here to witness some early phase start. Let's see at what time we would see some early phase start, which is really very important for the teams and for the players as well. Yasna Poliana, well, this particular region is looking like a very big center of attraction, where almost 3 to 4 teams are there. So yes, you guys need to be really very careful with these things, that if players are coming to Yasna Polyana, if we are going to see any sort of trouble between the players in Yasna Polyana, so that will be a good region for entertainment. That will be a good region for next level gameplay, what we talk about, some good highlights as well. So yes, if you haven't liked yet, guys, please, I'll request each and everyone to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates. Do show your support, because this, what we talk about, this is really very important for each of us, that how you guys support us, how you guys entertain us, because we are entertaining you with some amazing sort of stuffs, with some amazing sort of availability. So it's your compulsions also, that you guys also support us with your availability. So guys, if you haven't liked the stream, please go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream. Coming back to the game, coming back to the match, this becomes really important for Liquid 5 Esports, because last match, if we talk about this particular match, that was really very crucial for this particular team, and I'm expecting that same from this team in this particular match also. So let's see how will they perform, let's see what will be their reactions as well, what will be their momentums as well. It's almost 10 minutes in the game, and they are playing really very phenomenally, they are playing really very fantastically. So the upcoming times would be really very challenging for the teams and players as well. Talking about the zone formation, this is also very important for the team, and there you go, Catalin is having a very upper hand. Catalin is having a very good upper hand to hold on with. She is holding a great stance to be change on with. Let's see how will this affect the players, how will this affect the teams to be taken on. But yes, this could be really struggling, this could be really challenging for the teams and players as well. I don't think this would be that easy or that aparted enough, but for the upcoming times, for the upcoming moment, you should be really very careful with the hold, and you should be really very careful with the moment. So 15 teams, 59 players are still standing out, and both of the teams in this particular region has finally decided to disengage the fight and move towards the zone. As they're inside the zone, I think they would love to take some more central paths, and they would love to take some more central regions inside the zone and get a good position out of it. Well, beneath those things, if we talk about team number 7, they're also really looking with a good holdable position. They're also looking with a good holdable, challengeable position. Let's see how will the teams, let's see how will the players tackle those situation out. 15 teams, 59 players are standing out right now, right here, and a very long moment to be chased out, a very long moment to be tackled down. And let's see how will be it useful for the players, how will it be useful for the teams, how will they cherish it out, how will they momentalize it, because from my point of view, I don't think so that this will be that easy or this will be that crucial enough. A lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges could abide by the regions, a lot of difficulties and a lot of challenges could abide by the players as well. So yes, so you should be really very crucial, and you should be really be challengeable enough. For talking about team EDT, well, the team EDT, they are almost a four men standing. They haven't secured any finish point. They're almost on top 15 teams, top 59 live players. Let's see how will the players, let's see how will the teams perform out. But multiple teams are looking very, slow, are looking very stable right now, just because they need those position point as well. Well, let's see how will this affect the players. Let's see how will this affect the teams as well, because looking at team EGT and other players position, other players region, I don't think so that this will be that easy enough. For talking about again for a few other teams, talking about the big names, talking about the stalwart esports, I think this really becomes very much important. This really becomes very much necessary to talk about these teams, because how they play off, how they go on is not that easy to be chased on. It is not that easy to be played off. But yes, the more stable, the more approachable you become, the more stable, the more approachable you become to your opponents, it becomes more easier, or more chaseable to be taken. So 15 teams, 59 players, a bigger task is still going on. 15 teams and 59 players, this means we have almost half, or more than half picture left out. So guys, if you haven't liked the stream, please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream. We could see some amazing what we talk about the entertainment here, because this is the second match. After this we would be witnessing few more matches, almost like two more matches. So yes, if you haven't liked the subscribers, please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel and share the stream. Well, as we can see, some amazing sprays, some amazing shots are being delivered out, some amazing connections even could be witnessed around, which is not that easy to be taken on. And yes, some amazing knocks are also being delivered out. So yes, this is really looking something challenging for the teams, challenging for team APG, challenging for even team XCX. So because what we talk about the multiple fights, well, these multiple fights are coming in action at every point of the game. I think these are some surprise attack what we talk about. These are some different attacks what we chase for. But yeah, 15 teams, so 57 players. Let's see how will that affect them, how will that affect the players as well, because some amazing shots, some amazing knocks could defer to the elimination as well. It would also create some elimination for few players or few teams. And finally, what will be the results? This is also really very important to take on with, and always to deal on with, for the especially for the teams who are losing their men. So yes, they need to be really careful. But stalwart esports, I think they are coming back in action. I think they're coming back in game. The way they are playing, the way they are performing, I think this is really something different. I think this is really something challenging to mention out. 15 teams, 56 players. Wallet has been taken down, and it's Luki, the second player. Wisdom now being that solo player standing for the team. Let's see how will she perform. And the whole responsibility is now onto her shoulder, because this is also very challenging for them. That how will she, I'm sorry, this is also very challenging for her to how will she retain the position. But XCN, finally she'll take those picks, finally she'll take those momentums for her team, for her players, and she'll get that pick into their favor. But finally at zone central parts, it's team EDT looking really very strong enough. Team EDT looking very holdable enough. And how much more, I believe, ecstasy, how much more a cluster we can witness in the upcoming time. This is also really very important. Well, talking about Team EDT, well, they're totally at those zone central parts of the region. Talking about Team APG, I believe they are trying to initiate some more fights. They're trying to initiate some more momentless action into the game. I think last match was not good for this particular team, but in this particular match, they're trying to get some more out of it. They're trying to take out the more results from the game, which is really something could be difficult for the team and could be very difficult for the opponents as well, because if they lost this particular match also, then I don't think this will work for a longer period of time. But let's see what Kaitong is planning for, and in fact our team TSR ready for this particular fight or this particular battle. This is also a question to worry out. So before that, guys, before we move forward, I'll request each and everyone to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and as usual, I said, do show your support, do show your momentum, because this really becomes very much important for each of us, that how we play off, or what is our momentum, what is our hold to be chased on with. So yeah, 14 teams, 52 players, still a long way to travel out, and still very much difficult for each of the teams and each of the players. Well, typically looking at the current condition, typically looking at the current hold, it's really very difficult to take on with. And finally, team number 7, they're not looking at that could hold team TSR. Well, now they are down to 3 man. Almost one player has been taken down by team APG. The condition is not looking for this particular team. The condition is not looking that holdable for this particular team. Lisa, well, is still trying to cover those things up, but finally 4 finishes point. They have won this fight, but another, I think, difficulty remaining out. It's team IND. Well, this is the fight what we were talking about. This is the moment what we were chasing for. Multiple fights, multiple action, and multiple curiosity in the game is what we wait for, is what we cherish for. Almost 13 teams, so 49 players are standing out. Let's see how will the teams, let's see how will the players change out the scenarios. But I don't think team TSR can make a comeback from this particular match. I don't think team TSR can make a comeback from this particular game, because the way they are playing, it's really difficult. It's really very challenging for them to be covered up. So 15 teams, I'm sorry, it's 12 teams and 40 players to be taken on, and some amazing shots. Well, this is Jazzy. What an amazing spray from that Info 16 and 4x. This is what a perfect grind looks like. This is what a perfect grind delivers like. A perfect head start and a perfect game. Well, these two things, when when these two things match up, some amazing results is also being chased out. So 12 teams, 38 alive players, still a very bigger task to be maintaining on. Let's see how will these 11 teams play off. The way team INDY are playing, I think this is really something different. This is really something challenging, and this is really something crucial to watch out at this particular match. So a very typical task, a very crucial task. But talking about team EDT again, well, they're having that zone central parts, they're having that zone central areas, they're having some zone central spectacles to be taken on. Let's see how will they chase out the scenarios. Let's see how will they chase out the game or chase out the moment. But I don't think so this will work out a lot, because 10 teams, 34 players on an average, each team will content 3 to 3.4 players, which is something different, and the game is shifting towards those water regions. And whenever we talk about the water regions, it creates a lot of stuffles, and it create a lot of difficulties around the game. If we look at team GL, well, team GL, well, they are staying out of the fights, they are staying out of the game right now. They are very quiet, but is that sufficient enough? Is that quietness required at this particular game? This is also really very important. Well, I'll request each and everyone to guys, please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and do show your support. Right now, 10 teams, 34 players. This match is going really, really very beautiful, really, really very challengeable for the team and challengeable for the players as well. Almost 10 teams, 34 players are standing out. This is the stage 4. What we talk about the stage 4? Well, this is the fourth zone. What we mentioned for, this is the fourth zone what we wait for. So still a very bigger task to be maintained on. 10 teams, 34 players are talking about few more fights. It's team INF5. They are still waiting on, they're still going on, and I don't think this will change along. I don't think this will change abide. Well, 16 teams. So if we talk about Yenexi, well, Erza, Nixie, Kelix, so 3 men standing with those 3 finishes point. On top 10 teams, top 34 live players, Liquid 5 Esports, well, they are not looking at that great. Hold multiple fights is totally back in action. There are 2 different regions where we could see 2 different fights. So yes, this is really something different. This is really something challenging for the teams, because at those end games, if you play like this, because at those end games, if we perform like this, this is not what we wait for. This is not what we agree for. We need those finishes point, we need those place point, we need those position point as well. So if you're not holdable enough, I think you should be really, really very tough one, and you should be really, really be challengeable as well. Well, this is really something different. Team number 15 getting those finishes point rightly onto the point, getting those finishes point rightly onto the action. 9 teams, 31 players are standing out. 9 teams, 31 players are waiting around, and I think this was really something different. This was really something challenging for the teams and challenging for the players as well. What we talk about the last end scenarios, this is the 9 teams and 31 players are still standing out. A lot of repercussion, a lot of challenges could, come around the game or come about the players, but this is not it. You should be really, really very careful. You should be really, really be approving with the game, with the players, and with the mindset as well. So yeah, 9 teams, 30 players. Team Inferna, well, they are looking very strong enough. They are looking very crazy at this end game. They are looking very crazy at this particular match. But last player standing, it's Vora. The whole responsibilities onto her shoulder. How will she perform? How will she take those challenges? How will she take those ultimatum into the action? This is really, really very important for her and for the teams as well. So this is all what we wait for. But some grenades, some throwables. It was Team GL, and the third party scenario, well, in the end game, these things totally come in action and change the game anyhow. Well, I'll request each and everyone to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, do show your support. And this is what we will talk about. This is what we wait for. 8 teams, 24 players are still standing here down the line, and the game is totally been arising out. The game is totally been getting around and aggressing around. This is not what we wait for. So 8 teams, 24 players on an average. Each team will contain 3 players per team, so this could be difficult, this could be challenging. Let's see how will they entertain the areas, how will they entertain the cruciality, how will they entertain the momentums. I don't think this will work for a longer period of time, but yes, a lot of changes could abide by the center, abide by the areas, and abide by the reason. So they should be really, really very, they should be really, really be tackling enough. Talking about the other teams, talking about the other players, well, it's team number 12 as well, Team MRK. They're also waiting. And if we talk about some surprises, well, this is the surprise, well, they are waiting for. And a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges could also occur down, a lot of challenges could also being chased around. The heal battle is going on. This is something exceptional what we watch around in the map of Erangel in this particular game. the way they are playing, the way they are exciting the matches, I think this is something different to watch out. 6 teams, 20 players are still standing out, and a lot of repercussion, a lot of difficulties has been chased around, a lot of challenges has been chased around. Let's see how will the players, let's see how will the teams play off, and what will be the results, what will be the momentum. I don't think so this will be that easy or that challenging enough, but on the another level, on the another area, a lot of cruciality, a lot of repercussion can take on 6 teams, 19 players. This is the stage 6, which is the 6th zone, and it could be totally delivered out at this squad house. This is really looking very dangerous. This is really looking challenging for the team. This is really looking very difficult for the players. So how will they perform out? Mafia is still waiting on in front of them. It's team EDT outside of the zone. Some amazing, gatekeeping scenarios could be also occurred out. Well, there you go. Mafia was not in that good condition, but finally she's been taken down. Pena and Mufar, all the 2 players, the responsibility is there. The situation is looking very unholdable. The situation is looking undoable, and let's see how will they perform out. 5 teams, 14 players. This is the stage 6. This is the time when you need to bounce back. This is the time when you need to come back, and last 50 seconds left out, where you should gain that extremacy, where you should gain that holdability and get a good comeback out of it. Well, 5 teams, 14 players are still standing out, and the game is totally ruining off. The game is totally signing off. The way it's going, I don't think it's gonna be that easy. 5 teams, 14 players. Let's see which team will get that winner chicken dinner. It's gonna be really very challenging for each and every team and each and every player. So 4 teams, 12 players, it actually looks like. Each and every team, it looks like a 3 players, which is really very disturbing, which is really very challenging to take on with. But I don't think this will work out for a longer period of time. I don't think this will work for work out for a longer period of game. The way players are playing, the way teams are playing, this is really something different to take out. EDT players, MRK, Shana, Piana, INDY, they are very close to each other. Team EDT, well, they need to be really very attentive enough. They need to be really be maximized enough. Let's see how will they maximize the areas, or how will they maximize the position. But right now, the most contending team to win this particular match, I believe it could be team MRK, because the way they are playing, it's really something different to watch out. And finally, they are ruining team EDT. And the last player, it's none other than Maha. I don't think she will survive for a longer period of time. And there you go. It is looking like a 1v3, where team MHK is against team INDY doll into 2. Well, let's see what she'll do. I don't think she could do a lot of things, and finally this game will come to an end, and a perfect match also will come to an end. Talking about the points, well, it almost looks like 9 finishes point in the first winner chicken dinner. INDY, they have almost got 10 finishes point. EDT, if we talk about this particular team, they've got those 4 finishes point in a perfect match. Stalwart Esports, the big names, but they haven't performed great, and this is what it was in this particular game. This is what it was in this particular match. Well, this was the second match of the day, guys. There are still more 2 matches remaining out, so if you haven't liked the stream, subscribe the channel, please go for it and do it. Till then, we'll take a short break. We'll meet after a short break. Till then, stay tuned and keep supporting us. Okay, so well, ladies and gentlemen, finally here we are coming back with another day, another match, and this is the third match of the day. What we talk about the map of Sanok. This is really something different to watch out. The map of Sanok is really something different and brings a lot of chaos, brings a lot of challenges, brings a lot of struggles, and I think these things take apart by keeping these things apart. The map of Senok is really unique to with playoff. A lot of heal battles and a lot of challenges comes in the game to the players, to the teams as well. And let's see where we could see some drop clashes. Talking about the drop clash at Paradise Resort, this is a region where we could see multiple teams tackling each other. We're talking about Team Infinite Gaming as well as it's Jareen, Pami, Ivara. All of them are foremen standing with one finish point into the favor. They're almost on top. 14 teams, the top 55 are live players, and a pretty good head start, a pretty good head momentum is given to the team and is given to the players as well. So let's see how will they perform out. Let's see how will they chase on, and what will be the momentum to be bring on. But talking about Team TSR, Team TSR is also looking in a good hold. Team TSR is also looking in a good progression to be maintained off onto the other end. If you look towards team number 5, well, team number 5 is also having a good, a pretty good head start. So whenever we talk about the multiple drop clashes, it's not about only one team or it's not about only one player. It's about the multiple teams and multiple players holding the aggression onto their side. And there you go. If you look towards the IND Lordwall X2, well, he is totally ready. I'm sorry, she is totally ready for that 1v1 scenario. Let's see how will she initiate some more fights. How will she needs will initiate some more momentums. But talking about the fight, finally team number 12 is showing that engagement up to herself. Well, 14 teams, 43 players are still standing out. And if we look at the both of the POVs where players are still waiting on, players are still going on. They are, very unusual to decide at where they should go, what should be their, aggression, what should be their momentum to play off. And right now 13 teams, 41 players, 31, 13 teams, 51 players are still standing out. And let's see how will they play off or what will be the result. I still agree that it could be really challenging. And talking about Doll, she's been taken down and there's no chance, there is no momentum for that revival to take place. And it was really something very unusual to take on with, unusual to deal on with. But right now what we talk about is fight. Right now what we talk about is momentum. Let's see how will the fight, how will the momentums in this match will build out and take place. There you go. Some amazing shots are being taken with that EMP45. Some amazing momentums has been installing by that EMP45. But this is a weapon for that close ranges. Cannot be promising in that mid range area. So this is usually something different. This is usually something crossable what we change for. This is usually something difficult for what we change for. And let's see for how much more longer time I think this could go and this could be agreed on. Right now 13 teams, 49 players are still standing out. A perfect source of entertainment has been delivered out to the other end. Team number 12 is still waiting on. Talking about team number 11, they are crossing the rivers, they're crossing the areas to get inside the zone. Multiple teams, multiple players, and multiple action is also been chased out. So let's see how will the teams, let's see how will the players take out those things. How will the teams, how will the players take out those areas. I think this could be really challenging, this could be really struggling for them as well. So 13 teams, 49 players, and still a very long way to travel out. I think this game could be really very slow just because of the intensity of the lobby. There are not that much player or there's not that much competition in this particular match. So yes, players could take their time, players could take their momentum, and I believe later they could entertain themselves. Later they could entertain the opponents and intermediate players as well. So 13 teams, 48 players are still standing out. Let's see what will be the results or what will be the momentum. But talking about Team GL, already two players has been taken down. Last Lone Ranger standing is Cosmos 68, the Lone Ranger standing for the team. Let's see how will she perform. Will that grenade make any difference? Will that grenade make any challenges or make any hold? But on the other hand, it's Talbot Esports playing on another level, giving that deliverability, giving that approachable shots on another level. Some amazing shots are also been taken on. Some amazing shots are also been delivered out. 13 teams, 46 players. Let's see how will they perform out. Let's see what will be the end result. But right now, on both of the side, the game is just onto the another level. 11 teams, 41 players are still standing out. What we talk about, this is the first zone. A lot of repercussions, a lot of difficulties, and there you go, team number 12. Well, they will finally get that pick very beautifully. Well, they will get that pick very astonishingly, and a very beautiful game will come to an end for that particular team. But right now, still 10 teams and 39 players. The game is just going on to another level. The game is just going on to other approach. Talking about team number 5, well, it's team APG still holding that zone central parts, and now we are just with those top 10 teams. So this is really something different to check out. Well, right now, if we look at the teams or if we look at the players, I think we should not be astonished enough by looking their joy, because the way they are playing, it's not really very difficult to take on with. There's not much competition left out in the game. There's not much competition left out in the area, so they're playing very slowly, very apartedly, and I think they're taking their time to get those position point onto the right areas and onto the right moment. So let's see how will these things help the players, or how will these things help the opponents and their team and their coordination communication. Will these things change anything into the areas or change anything into the question? But 10 teams, 39 players are still standing out. So let's see how will they perform out, or what will the results. This is the stage 2, and yes, 1.5 minutes is left for the next zone shrink. Well, 10 teams, 39 players from both of the side. The game is totally being run out. The game is totally being, looking very, very slow, looking very, very holdable, looking very, very undoable by the teams, by the players as well. So let's see how will they perform out. Let's see how will they chase out those things, and what will be the approaches, what will be the momentums, and how will they play on. I don't think so this will work out a lot. I don't think so this will work out for a longer period of time, but let's see what will be the results. Because right now, I totally agree, each and every team will take the time. Each and team will totally wait, go very slow, very standingly, and recite by themselves. They would be a really very attentive in the particular match. So I think this is the second zone, and a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges could also be occurs. But talking about the another players and the teams, I think this is also really very important. The new zone formation is onto the way. If we talk about team EDT, they're already into the zone central parts of the regions. Well, consecutively, अगर looking at the top 10 teams, top 37 alive players, I don't think this would be that easy for any one of the team to tackle out the scenarios, to tackle out the areas, looking towards team Well, they're also in a good hold. They're also in a good, progressive manner moving forward for the team, for the moving forward for the teams and for the players as well. So yes, this game is totally been astonishing out. This game has totally been rising out, but for how much more time I think these things will work out. This is also really very important to this is also really very important to take on with, but I don't think so. This would be that easy, or this would be that undoable enough for the teams, undoable enough for the players as well. Team APG, well, this is also a good name. This is also, is a very attentive name in this tournament. But talking about Devil, well, he is totally close to the opponents, and let's see how will they attach out the things and what will be their regions, what will be their holes, what will be their attachability. This is also really very important. 10 teams, 37 players. This clearly states that each and every team, each and every player will have at least a 3.7, which means 4 players in their teams, which is a very good number to take on with. Teams and players having 4 players in their pocket, which means they're coming with that man advantage, and man advantage at the end games, which gives you a lot of boost, a lot of momentums, and a lot of chasing scenarios as well. So yeah, if you haven't hit that like button, please guys go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates. Do show your support to your friends, to your mates, because this becomes really very important for each of us, that how you guys support us, how you guys support the organization. The way you support the organization will get the same thing for you guys as well. So I don't think this would be that easy. I don't think so this would be that crucial enough for the teams and for the players as well. But the shots, team number 6 are taking down the line. I think this could, if these shots could make some connection, I totally agree. A lot of scenarios could be changed around, a lot of scenarios could be developed around as well. Well, 10 teams, 34 players are still standing out. This is the stage 4, what we talk about. This is the stage 4, what we wait for. And how would they perform out? This is also really very something important. Team TV, Nike, Gallin, Scar, Kelix, all of them is still waiting around. All of them is still going around. Talking about team number 16, they're also having a very good hold. They're also having a very good approachable stats into their favor, and this still becomes very much difficult. This still becomes very much challenging for them, that how would they approach the areas, how would they approach the positions in this particular match. So I believe the more good areas they hold, the more good position they can adapt for. Talking about team number 6, they're also having a very good approach to be taken on. 10 teams, 33 players are totally been perfect for right now. So I believe this could be really challenging. I believe this could be really very struggling for the teams and struggling for the players as well. So for more upcoming times, they should be totally ready. But right now the game is totally becoming very slow, very holdable, and very undoable for the teams and undoable for the players as well. Well, beneath those things, I'll request each and everyone to guys, please go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and do show your support, because this is what we talk about. This is the consistency what we maintain for. And there comes the knock. Team APG not looking in that great condition, not looking in that great hold, and really struggling for the position, really struggling for that momentum. I think this was really very mesmerizing to take on with. This was really mesmerizing for hold on with. But in the upcoming times, how will they play off? In the upcoming times, how will they chase on that becomes really very important. That becomes really very challenging for the team. 9 teams, 26 players. The game is going into that flow, and I believe now we could see some bridge blocks and bridge camp scenarios. So this is really something different to deal on with. Well, I would request each and everyone guys to please go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream as well. But talking about team number 16, they're holding a great height advantage as well. Trying to get that off guard position, having those info 16 into their hand with those 3x. This is really very beautiful to watch out. How would they get some off guard angles and get their execution onto the right plan? But talking about the teams, talking about team number 6, they're totally underwater. The vision is totally blurred out to come up and take those position rightly. Almost 7 teams, 19 players are still standing out. The bridge areas is totally localized and looking very truffled off for how much more time they can gain the same consistency and get the same game towards the right time. I think this becomes very much important. Talking about team INF, they're also holding a good plan, they're also holding a good game, and I don't think this will work for the right period. But talking about team number 8, this is really very beautiful. That was really very beautiful to take on with those smoke covers. Those artificial covers would help them a lot to get inside the zone. But team EDT, I think the heal battle, this is very beautiful to watch out in Miramar, I'm sorry, in Sanok, because what we talk about the heal battle, what we talk about the artificial covers, this is really something unique about this game. And for the upcoming times, how will they tackle those scenarios? This becomes very much beautiful. Liquid 5 esports, so they're having 4-man advantage, getting those angles, getting those views onto the point. I think this will make them to win this particular match. But still, almost 3 teams are left round, and it's INDI Vitamin. I think these two players are still struggling out, and they're still struggling on for how much more longer time they will maintain that same consistency, for how much more longer time they will maintain that same momentum. This is really very important. It's almost a last 48 seconds left out. Which team will get that winner chicken dinner? Which team will get that momentum? This is very important to take on with. But Mew Mew is still waiting on, looking at the both side, looking at the both areas. I don't think this is that beautiful enough. Catalan, well, she is still waiting on, having those M416 AKM. This is a good combination, but the defense system, I don't think this is that good. Level 1 helmet, level 2 vest, she needs to maximize a lot. But as this is the end zone, I don't think this will be that doable enough. Or you can change the things at those end moment. You should be very much ready at the earliest period as well. But I think this play, will that be a changing moment? Will that be a table turning moment? This is the question to worry out. Jabdu and Vitamin has been spotted. This is a mid-range fight. A heal battle is going on behind the screen. That could be a table turning as well. But Liquid 5 esports are having that 4-man advantage. I think this will change the game. Anti-Mindy, I think they need a clutch, or in fact they need a 1v2 or a 1v3 to change the game. And finally, now it's the 2 teams, 6 players. Which team will get that chicken dinner? This is the question to take on with. This is the question to deal on with. And apart from these things, what we talk about the consistency, apart from these things, what we talk about the holdability, durability, well, team number 20 with those man advantages totally playing off. They're totally killing it. And now finally Catalan is on the beast mode. They're totally on that FP mode, which totally shows that what kind of game they are showing on. And finally the game will come to an end, and none other than the one and only Extreme Liquid 5 esports getting that winner chicken dinner with almost those 7 finishes point into the favor, which was totally fantastic to watch out. But well guys, this will be the end of third match itself, and that was really fantastic to watch out by Team Liquid 5 esports getting those maximum number of finishes point. What we talk about, almost 8 to 9 finishes point into their favor, which was very phenomenal to deal on with. But as this was the third match, we would be coming with few more matches. I don't think so. Few more matches, almost looks like one more match. So if you haven't liked the stream yet, please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and do show your support as well. Beneath those things, we'll take a short break, and we'll guys meet you after a short break. Till then, stay tuned and enjoy the highlights. Okay, so well, ladies and gentlemen, finally here we are coming back with another day, another match. This is the last match of the day. Well, particularly if we talk about this particular match, well, the map of Rhine, this becomes very much unique for the teams. This become very much unique for the players as well. Talking about the drop clashes, well, military base is a pretty good region to watch out where we could see some multiple drop clashes as well. Talking about the players, Team MRK, they're almost 4 men standing with a zero finishes point, looking towards with those top 14 teams, top 56 live players, getting a good approach out of it, getting a good head start out of it, getting some good basic loots with those M416, some AKMs, and some good grenades, helmets, some good defensive systems like what we talk about, you know, some level 2 helmet and vest as well. So I think that it would be really very important for the teams and players as well. Let's see how will the players, let's see how will the teams initiate those fights. But talking about Liquid 5 esports and other teams along with our ABHK players, well, they are moving towards Yasna Apollina. This is really something different what we look towards in this particular match, and as this is the last match of the day, as this is the last day as well as last match. So let's see how will they perform out, how will they chase out, and what will be the approach, what will be their holdings, and how will they play off. I don't think so this will work out for a longer period of time, and this could be really very challenging. This could be really very struggling to be chased on. 14 teams, 56 players are still standing out, and a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges could be maintained off. Let's see how will the players, let's see how will the teams stand out and what will be the approaches. But Liquid 5 esports, they should be really very holdable enough. They should be really be strong enough. They could initiate those fights, they could initiate those momentum as well. But typically looking at the current scenarios, typically looking at the current situation, team number 16 looking in a very good hold. They're almost 4 men standing with some zero finishes point, which is not that good. But yes, if they need to maximize the things, if they need to maximize the hold, I think let's see how will they take on the things, and how will the proceedings takes off. Well, 14 teams, 56 players are still standing out, and a pretty good start is given off. A pretty good start has been chased off. This is the stage one, and 3.5 minutes is almost been provoked out. Let's see how will they chase on, or what will be the upcoming stances, and what will be the upcoming holes. But I don't think so this is going to be that easy or that doable enough when both of the side players and teams are waiting. And team MRK, this is very something unusual to take on with. They have disengaged the fight, which was not expected from this team. They have disengaged the particular area, which was not totally expected from this particular team. 14 teams, 56 players are still standing out, and a pretty long, pretty decent times is needed to be taken on. Let's see how will they maximize out. Let's see how will they hold out. But I don't think so this will be that doable enough. I don't think so this will be that holdable enough. 14 teams, 56 players is still standing out. Talking about this southern part of the region, Talbot Esports, Violet, Duca, Luca, Wisdom, all of them are 4 men standing. They haven't secured any finish point, they haven't secured any momentum in this particular match. But I think this is really going to be very troubleful. This is really going to be very much challenging. That how will they synchronize the hold, and how will they synchronize the momentum as well. Well, I'll request each and everyone guys to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream. The game is really going very slow, very holdable, very apartedly, and of course I think this could find a few more things to be maintained out. This could find a few more things to be chased on, but it's really very difficult for them. It's really very difficult for them to be hold it on. Stalwart Sports is still waiting on at those military based region. They're still going on with that same hold and same momentum. So teams are trying to avoid the fight at this point of time. I don't know why, because as this is the last match, they're still searching. They're still trying to get some more confession out of this. They're still trying to get some more confession out of the game. So yes, this could be really something different to take on. Hello, each and everyone, please guys go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates. Do show your support. And talking about Team GL, they are still struggling on, looking towards the zone area. Zone has started to shrink. Liquid 5 esports, they really need to be very compressive enough. They really need to be very much holdable enough for this particular match, for this particular game, because I don't think these things will go this way. Of course, a lot of difficulties, of course, a lot of challenges could chase on, a lot of doability could chase on, and of course this could cause a lot of trouble as well. So guys, if you haven't hit that like button, please go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream. Apart from those things, talking about the southern parts of the region, it's Val, Jensen's, Vitamin, Benjamin, Summer, all of them are four men standing with those zero finishes point. They're almost on top 14 teams, the top 56 alive players. This is the stage 2.5 minutes is almost is getting over, and a perfect time period is almost getting built. So yes, this is the area what we talk about. 2.5 minutes is left out for the next zone string. So you should be really very careful with that hold, really very careful with that momentum, and the way you play off, the way you win off. The more aggressive you are, the more aggressive is your results as well. So you should be very planned enough with your plans, and the execution should be very truly on the right point and the right areas. So 14 teams, 56 players, and still the chase sounds are really very difficult to move on. Well, beneath those things, I'll request each and everyone guys to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates. Do show your support. You're talking about Team SITM. Well, this is the team getting a good hold out of here. This is the team getting a good diagonal support out of here. Team Val, well, they're also getting some good rotations out of it. They're also getting some good momentums out of it, and yes, this is the holdable scenario. This is the doable scenario what we talk about. This is the undoable scenario what we talk about. Players are waiting, players are challenging each other, players are trying to get that possessive area what they wait for. But right now, this is the last game. I believe they will wait for some more time. They will wait for some more areas, and I think then they could change the game, then they could change the plan as well. So I don't think this will be that undoable enough. But still, if you haven't liked the stream, guys, please go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream, and yes, the game is still on. Well, many of those things, what we talk about the other teams, what we talk about the other players, well, it's Team APG. They're also trying to initiate some more fights. They're also trying to initiate some more momentums in the game between the players, between the opponents as well. But I don't think this would be that easy by any one of the team or any one of the players to be maintained off. You need to struggle a lot. You need to struggle some momentless cheese. So let's see how will they take on, or what will be the results. 12 teams, 47 players are still standing out, and a pretty good results has been mentioned out. This is the stage 2, what we talk about. This is the stage 2 what we wait for, and some amazing tap shots has been seen by team EDT as well, multiplied on other end simultaneously. The same results has been mentioned now. So yes, so you should be very much ready for any fight to be executed off, because if at a particular time two multiple teams are trying to initiate the fights, this totally states that what is their plan or what is their goal to be chased on. So 12 teams, 47 players, and still a bigger task is there to be covered up. And this is only 10 to 12 minutes, and there you go. Diaz struggling a lot to take those picks. Diaz still struggling a lot to take those momentums rightly onto the point. So yes, you should be really really very careful enough while selecting these things and selecting these fights between the players and between the teams as well. Well, typically looking at team number 13, they're really, really looking very strong. They're really, really, really looking very holdable enough. And let's see how will they initiate the fights. How will they initiate the momentum? This is also very important to chase on with. Talking about Team GL, they're still waiting on. They're also still going on, and the fights becomes really, really very important for them as well. The fights also become very doable for them as well. How will they play off, or what will be the results as well? It's almost 12 teams. 47 players are still standing here and still waiting on, still going on with that same hold and same momentum. So it's really become very difficult for both of the team to be chased on. 12 teams, 47 players are still standing out. Let's see how will they perform out. Let's see how will they chase on. This is the area where you should hold the momentum. This is the area where you should hold the scenarios to be played off. For 12 teams of 47 players are standing, and both scenarios we can see players are typically professionally playing for that rotations area. They are typically waiting for the rotation to be taken on. 12 teams, 47 players. The game is really really going very slow to be taken on. Let's see how much more time will it take for the fight to be initiated off. The 12 teams and 47 players are still standing out. And similarly, looking at team elimination, Team Infinity has got almost those 4 elimination points into their hand. Talking about Yasna Poliana, we could see some more fights, some more engagement by this particular team into those areas. 12 teams, 46 players are still standing up. There you go. It's XC Mamzi. Some amazing shots have been delivered out. 12 teams, 44 players. Let's see how will they engage the areas. Let's see how will they engage the momentums. What is their scenarios to be chased off. But onto the other end, if you look at team EDT, they are still 2 men standing. They haven't got any finish point. They are still going with that same approach and same hold, but it's really really very difficult to be chased on. I'll request each and everyone to, guys, please go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and do show your supports as well. Well, on to the other end, talking about the other teams. Well, inside the zone, well, the zone shrink is again taking place. Team EPG, they also need to be really, really very careful with these fights and this momentum, because they're also not looking with that doable gold hold. They're also not looking with that doable areas into their side. So now the fights could be really, really very strong. Now the fights could be really, really very struggling by the teams and by the players as well. I'll request each and everyone, guys, to please go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, let's share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and do show your support. As I told earlier, this really really becomes very much important for each of us to show that support to each and everyone, and I don't think this would be that easy. I don't think so this would be that doable enough for the players, or that doable enough for the teams as well to be chased on. This is the stage 4, and you should be really very prepared for those things at those end zone, because we could face a lot of struggle or a lot of rotation clashes. Talking about team number 19, they're also looking in a close call, multiple teams, multiple players giving their multiple roles into the action. And yes, so this is what it looks like. This is what we plays for, and I don't think this will be that agent. There you go, Mew Mew with coming some amazing shots. Played Catalan and Fury well. Liquid 5 esports. So this is, I think. This is the area what we talk about. This is the time what we wait for, when you become very much aggressive at those end zone, and when you become very much aggressive at those end game. Let's see how will the players, let's see how will the teams perform out. But 11 teams, 38 players on an average, this totally states that each team will having at least 3 players to 4 players into the side. So yes, this is also really very challenging for the team, but let's see how will these things maximize out, and what will be the approach for the teams and players as well. Well, typically onto the other side, looking at team number 19, they're not looking that great hold, and a lot of difficulties has been mentioned out. And there you go, what we talk about the fights. Finally, the fights are coming back in action, and this really look very difficult for the players. Team number 19 is now down to one man. The whole responsibility is on to Cosmo's shoulder. Let's see how will he play off the TPP angle to FPP switch. I don't think this will work for a longer period of time. And finally, that was a flop hit to be taken on. That is a flop chance to be taken on. And finally, they have been eliminated. Team TSP. They're also holding on. Team TSP. They're also been waiting on with that same intent and same hold. So time by time, as we move forward, time by time, more players. Talking about Team TSR Bebo, well, she's also trying to take some more space. She's also trying to take some more amazing shots by her side, and this was that easy to be detailed off. 7 teams, 23 players, some amazing shots, some amazing proclamation has been delivered out. Talking about the open sand, well, it's team number 18 struggling a lot to get those finishes point, struggling a lot to get those momentum, and this really becomes very much difficult. This really becomes very much challenging for the teams, and very much challenging for the players as well. How would they hold on the packaging? How would they hold on the momentum? Because I don't think this will work for a longer period of time, or this will work for a longer period of hold. A lot of chaos, a lot of difficulty with fight by the center, but there you go, some amazing shots is still being delivered out, and some amazing momentums as well. Now finally, Liquid 5 esports again maintaining that consistency. Liquid 5 esports again maintaining that hold. They're again on the top list. This is really something different. This is really something aspiring to take on the team like Liquid 5 esports, coming back to back, getting those back to back top 5 position. I think this is very unusual to take on with. Well, 4 teams, 12 players, and they're still standing out, they're still waiting out, getting a very good hold, getting a very good start out of their side, and this is what we talk about, this is what we wait for. A perfect game plan, a perfect game execution, a perfect game hold, to be chased on, and for how much more time I think they will maintain that same hold, or they will maintain that same consistency. This is the question to arise out. This is the question to be deal out. I don't think this will work for a longer period of time. The way they are playing, the way they are holding, this is really gonna be something different. This is really gonna be something big. To be precise enough, for 4 teams and 9 players that are totally in front of each other. Team APG, Team Liquid 5 Esports, some big names and some big plays are totally being back in action. The way they are playing, it's really something different to watch out. Top 4 teams, and now they need to be careful. Now they need to be very much astonishable enough. Now they need to be very much holdable enough with your plans and with their assistance as well. And there you go, they have finally been taken down one by one. Top 3 team CP28. Well, this is a decent weapon. This is something different weapon. Shots are being taken on. Some different shots are being delivered out. The more conscious you be, the more better results you get. The more unconscious you be, the more a bad result you deserve. So you should be really very careful with your plans. So you should be really be very careful with your holds and how you play, how you attack, and how you go for more finishes point. But right now, 3 teams, 8 players, it's really very difficult to tackle out that which team will get that winner chicken dinner in this particular match. It's really very difficult to hold on with. It's really very difficult to tell that which team will get that chicken dinner. But yeah, whichever team will get that winner chicken dinner, I think this will create a lot of virgins, as this is the last game. This is what we were waiting for. This is what we were talking about, the last game. And I think we deserve something different. If we deserve some different results, we deserve some different high top performance. 2 teams of 5 players, both of them are in front of each other, and this is gonna be really difficult. This is gonna be really challenging for both of the team TSR versus team APG, one of the best teams on the sides, on the verge of winning or losing the game. It's really very important how they play off and what will be the final result to take on. Well, finally, with that EMP45 shots, the game will come to an end, and team TSR, well, they will get those 6 finishes point into their favor. And I think that was totally perfect to chase out. That was totally perfect to hold out, which was totally phenomenal. And the approaching game, almost 14 teams only played in the last game, which is a very less number to take on with, which is a very unexpected number to take on with. But finally, this match will come to an end. Finally, this game will come to an end, and this event will also come to an end. And with that end, guys, we guys will take a break from you. Break in sense, break for just few days, break for just another event, break for a new event. Till then, guys, stay tuned and keep enjoying the lives. We'll meet you after a new event.